Hey guys, how's it going today? I'm doing a very different video for me. It's going to be basically Pilot Yellow, me reacting to the Mission Impossible Fallout video. This is actually my first time watching this, so this is going to be a treat to see this. I've heard all about it. I've seen the clips on YouTube and stuff like that, but this is the first time actually going through this. So you guys are going to see it with me, which is crazy. And I'm just going to give you, it cuts back and forth a little bit, so I'm going to give you kind of my reactions to the different scenes and what my thoughts are on them. So let's get started with where we are here. So Tom Cruise just climbed up a rope and on the long line. He's now on the A-Star helicopter. So this is an A-Star 350 B3 and well, an H125 now, I guess is what it's called. And so he's jumping in. So there's lots of sounds going on right now. The collective, the pilot's obviously been killed. Collective was pushed all the way down. You see that in a second here because the collective gets raised up. He's dropping out of the sky. He's got a full spin going. This is all accurate so far. Seems pretty good. In a complete spin because he has no pedal control. I don't know that he'd be spinning quite so bad because he had a lot of forward airspeed. But then he pulls up the collective here. And so he recovers the helicopter basically. He puts in his pedal input and he's able to recover the helicopter. Yeah, first scene, interesting. I think that unless it's possible that, you know, when the pilot slumped over, he would have jammed the pedal full over, and that's why he got into a spin. But other than that, yeah, I mean, the helicopter is definitely going to be falling out of the sky. It was, when you see the shot from the outside, it was in kind of like a nice spiral, kind of descending spiral. I'm not sure that it would be that well controlled, specifically if the pilot had slumped over and pushed the cyclic over to the side. In reality, probably a lot more realistic that the helicopter would have actually rolled inverted, flipped upside down, and not been in this nice controlled spiral spin. But anyways, let's go on to the next scene and check this out here.
If he's in another helicopter, how are you going to get it? I'll figure it out. You find a bomb, I'll get the detonator. I won't let you down. I won't let you down. Be ready. Look, Ethan, come in. Benji, come in. Benji, Luther. Anybody? I can do this. I can do this. What do we got here? We got airspeed. Airspeed.
What do we got here? We got airspeed. Airspeed. This is power. Oh. So this right here.
How do I get rid of this payload?
So the long line. Oh, he's just figured it out. He's figured out the plot. So, to stop there for a second, that big weight underneath there, dragging through those trees like that, it would have created so much drag that the helicopter would have basically pitched over and just smashed right into the trees there. So very unrealistic on that part, but you know, you gotta run with it just to make it work here. Okay, so this is a fun one. He's getting shot at here, and first of all, the glass is not bulletproof on these helicopters, so there's no way on earth that oh. Oh, wow. Wow, nice. Okay, so a couple things there. The G-forces that you're seeing on this helicopter, I don't know if they would be able to sustain that. That's pretty crazy. So he did a pushover. Now that's an interesting thing. In a 3-bladed helicopter like this, you can definitely do a low G pushover. You're not going to have any negative effects. But the amount that he pushed over, you see that cyclic stick just shoved straight over like that. That would have been so much that the helicopter would have just completely flipped, inverted forward. So obviously for the dramatization of the video, they're making those control inputs much larger than you could actually input. The helicopter would just go absolutely berserk if you were doing that large of inputs. But he definitely went into a dive. Not really perfectly clear as to why it went into a spin like that. I mean, I guess he doesn't technically know how to fly a helicopter, which is kind of the idea of the video. But yeah, so he went into this spiral dive and spin. The helicopter has what's called a V&E, a velocity to never exceed. And so in a dive like that, he would have by far exceeded the V&E of the helicopter. So there's some limiting factors to that as well. In an A-star, I believe the V&E is around 140 knots, but I'd have to check that to be exact. And so in a dive like that, you're probably looking at more like 200 knots, just kind of straight down like that. So there's going to be some aerodynamic factors that are going to limit that, and it's probably going to pitch up, roll over, and go uncontrollable. So. And then the pull out at the bottom there, kind of into the valley, that looked really cool. If you have that much downward force, I don't know that you really have enough power to be able to pull out of that. That's possible. It's definitely makes it interesting. You're gonna have a lot of downward momentum. I'm not sure that it's going to pull out of it. And the G-force trying to pull out of something like that with that fast of a descent rate, probably going to have structural damage on those blades. But hey, it's a movie, so let's keep watching.
What the hell are you doing? You're out of your mind! I don't know what's down there!
So this is interesting. There's a layer of cloud there. So Ethan, Tom Cruise here, has dove down through the clouds, and this pilot, smart pilot, he didn't actually want to go down through the clouds because he doesn't know what's down there. That's a really smart decision on his behalf. This looks like it was filmed in BC. I mean, this kind of scenery, I think I know that lake that they were at earlier. And then he comes barreling up through the clouds like that towards the helicopter. That was an interesting move. Oh. So helicopter on fire, pulling all the power he's got. And big shove over here. Wow, fun. Mid-air collision. Keeps on flying. This is interesting. Wow, there's a soft landing. Wow. And that, folks, is why we wear helmets right there. Look at this. He's not getting hurt at all. That's incredible. What an amazing helicopter. Wow, I want to fly one of those. One of those ones that you can crash at full speed and it just sits there and rolls and rolls and rolls. And the cabin doesn't come apart and it just stays in one piece. You don't even need to wear a helmet in that thing. Okay, we're gonna finish it off here on a more serious note, you guys. it's a movie. Obviously, they're going to take as much liberty as they want to on this. A couple of my thoughts on it, as you guys saw. The control inputs obviously were way too large. For the average person, though, you wouldn't ever think about something like that. You wouldn't ever know that. The number one comment that I get when people hop in the helicopter for the first time, they put their hands and feet on the controls, and I say, listen, all you got to do is think about it, and the controls will do what you want it to do, okay? You don't have to barely move them at all. And that's the number one thing they notice, is how sensitive the controls are. A small movement like this, just a tiny little baby movement like this, will make the helicopter pitch over 45 degrees. It's very small, gentle movements that you're making. So his control inputs obviously are 10 times too large, but it makes it look a lot better for the video. So obviously that was the purpose of that. But I think it was fun. I think they did a pretty good job at trying to make it look as realistic as possible. And I think the end part was by far the most unrealistic. You're never going to go through that kind of a crash and be able to hop out and walk away at full speed like that. It's just insane. But all in all, well done. Good job, Tom Cruise. The cool thing about this is that he actually did the flying for this. Obviously, a lot of it was just stunt work and green screen and so forth. But there were a lot of real shots in this, and he actually learned how to fly in a very short amount of time, this A-star. And so he went to intensive flight school and learned how to fly this helicopter for this film, which I think is a really cool thing. I really like Tom Cruise as an actor. I think he does some really cool things, and some of his stunts that he does and stuff that he does actually do himself, I think is pretty cool. And the fact that he learned to fly a helicopter for this, pretty awesome as well. So these are just a couple of my little thoughts about this. Hope you guys liked it. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't. And we're going to talk to you guys on the next video. See ya.